I used to think birthdays were about feeling special, even as an adult. Not because of gifts or cake, but because it was one day when the people you loved showed you that you mattered. That belief didn't survive my last birthday. We had planned something simple. Dinner at a nice restaurant, a few close friends, nothing extravagant. My wife insisted on organizing it, which I took as a good sign. Things between us had been strained for months. Late nights, short replies, her phone always face down. But I convinced myself this was her way of reconnecting. When we arrived at the restaurant, everything looked perfect. Soft lighting, reserved table, familiar faces smiling at me. I felt hopeful for the first time in a long while. Then he showed up. She introduced him casually, like he was no big deal. "This is Mark, from work," she said, already smiling at him in a way I hadn't seen directed at me in ages. He shook my hand, confident grip, eyes lingering just a second too long. I noticed how comfortable they were around each other immediately. Too comfortable. At first I told myself I was imagining things. I tried to focus on the night, on the people who came to celebrate me. But every time I looked over, she was leaning toward him, laughing at his jokes, touching his arm when she spoke. She barely looked at me unless someone else did first. When the waiter came to take drink orders, she ordered his favorite cocktail without even asking him. She didn't know what I wanted. That should have hurt more than it did. Instead, it numbed me. The night went on, and it got worse. He dominated her attention completely. She asked him questions, listened intently, laughed loudly. When I tried to join the conversation, she interrupted me twice, once mid-sentence, to respond to something he said. It was like I was background noise at my own birthday. Someone suggested a toast. I thought maybe, finally, this would be the moment. She'd say something kind, something acknowledging me. She stood up, glass in hand. "To great friends," she said, smiling warmly at him, "and to people who really understand us." Her eyes never met mine. People clinked glasses. A few looked confused. I sat there, frozen, realizing I had never felt more invisible in my life. The final blow came when the cake arrived. Candles lit, my name written in frosting. Everyone started singing. She didn't sing. She was busy showing him something on her phone, their heads close together, laughing softly while everyone else celebrated me. That's when it hit me. Not like anger, not like sadness, but like clarity. She wasn't distracted. She wasn't unaware. She was choosing him. I excused myself quietly and went outside. The cold air felt sharp, grounding. I stood there for a long time, listening to the muffled sounds of laughter from inside. No one came after me, not even her. When I finally went back in, the party was winding down. She noticed me then, asked where I'd gone like it was a minor inconvenience. "You disappeared," she said. "So did you," I replied. She frowned, like I was being dramatic. "What's that supposed to mean?" I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw someone I barely recognized. "It's my birthday," I said calmly, "and you haven't looked at me once all night." She sighed, annoyed. "You're overreacting. He's just a co-worker." I nodded. "Then why does it feel like I'm the third wheel in my own marriage?" She didn't answer. She didn't deny it either. The drive home was silent. At the house, she went straight to the bedroom. I stayed in the living room, sitting in the dark, replaying every moment of the night. The signs hadn't started on my birthday. They'd been there for a long time. I had just finally stopped ignoring them. That night, I didn't sleep. Over the next few days, things unraveled quickly. I stopped pretending everything was fine. I started paying attention. The secretive calls, the emotional distance, the way she lit up when his name came up and shut down when I tried to talk about us. When I finally confronted her, she didn't cry. She didn't beg. She just looked tired. "I didn't plan for it to happen," she said quietly. But it did. That was all the confirmation I needed. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I just told her I was done being invisible. Done competing with someone who was never supposed to be part of our marriage. Done celebrating milestones alone while standing next to my own wife. Walking away wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, painful, necessary. Now, when my birthday comes around, I don't expect grand gestures. I celebrate differently, with people who show up, with friends who look at me when they speak, with peace instead of doubt. That birthday didn't just show me who she was choosing. It showed me how long I had stopped choosing myself. And that realization, on a day meant to celebrate my life, ended one chapter and saved the rest of it.